I 29M had been dating my girlfriend, 27F, for 2 years. Things were mostly fine until her male best friend, 28M, moved back to the city about 6 months ago. Ever since then, I'd slowly been pushed into the background whenever he was around. Last week was our 2-year anniversary. I'd spent almost a month planning a special evening. Booked a table at a proper upscale steakhouse, the kind where the waiters wear ties and the menu doesn't even show prices on some items. I was genuinely excited. The morning of the dinner, she casually dropped. "Babe, best friend, just got back from his work trip and I haven't seen him in ages. I told him to come with us tonight. You're cool with that, right?" I wasn't cool with that at all. It was our anniversary. I told her exactly that. She sighed like I was the unreasonable one. "It's just one dinner. He's only in town a couple days. Don't make it weird." I hate confrontation, and she knew it. Against my better judgment, I said nothing and let it go. We arrived at 7 p.m. He was already seated at our table, my reservation, sipping a cocktail that was already on my tab. The next 2 hours were painful. They laughed about memories from years before I even knew her, finished each other's sentences, and barely acknowledged I existed. Every time I tried to bring the conversation back to us, to our 2 years together, one of them would jump in with another. "Remember that time we?" story. Then came the wine list. He asked the waiter for the most exceptional, most expensive red they had. The waiter suggested a bottle, $340. He grinned. "Perfect, we're celebrating tonight." My girlfriend lit up. "Yes, let's do it." They toasted to old friendships and new memories. Not a single word about our relationship. I sat there stunned as the waiter poured 3 glasses, 1/3 of that bottle now technically my responsibility. When the waiter stepped away, I excused myself to the restroom. Instead of going back to the table, I walked straight to the bar, caught a different server, and quietly asked her to split the check 3 ways right then. I paid only my exact portion. Food, drinks, tax, my share of that ridiculous wine. About $260 in cash, tipped her an extra $40 for the hassle, and slipped out the kitchen exit. By the time the bill hit the table, I was already halfway home with my phone on airplane mode. An hour later, I turned it back on. 82 missed calls, over 150 texts. "Where are you? This isn't funny. They said you paid only your part. Are you kidding me right now? I had to call my mom to cover the rest. I'm mortified." From the best friend. "Real mature, bro. You made her cry in front of everyone. She deserves better." I replied only to her. "You invited someone to our anniversary. He ordered a $340 bottle without asking me, and you both ignored me all night. I paid for what I consumed. You two figure out the rest." Then I blocked the friend and went to sleep. The next morning, she showed up at my door in tears, demanding to talk. I let her in because closure felt necessary. Her opening line: "How could you embarrass me like that in front of him?" I reminded her it was supposed to be our anniversary, not their reunion. She flipped it. "If you weren't so insecure and controlling, you'd be fine with me having male friends." That was the last straw. I told her we were done, and she had until Sunday to get her stuff out of my apartment, my lease, my place. She'd just been living there most of the time. Saturday morning, she arrived with her sister and the best friend to collect her things. I had already packed everything neatly into boxes. While they loaded, she went into the bedroom, and I heard her say sweetly, "Where's your signed vinyl collection, babe?" My heart stopped. I kept about 30 rare signed records on a shelf, total value around $4,000, including one ultra-rare signed pressing worth $2,200 alone. The shelf was empty. She smirked. "Oh yeah, I helped you reorganize them last month when we cleaned. Guess I forgot where I put them." It clicked instantly. She took them before the dinner as insurance, revenge, whatever you want to call it. I gave her 24 hours to return every single one untouched, or I'd file a police report for theft. She laughed and left. Police initially said it was a civil dispute because we'd lived together. I got a lawyer consultation, documented everything. Photos, old podcast footage clearly showing the full collection on my shelf with timestamps, text messages where she admitted moving them, everything. New police report with actual evidence got their attention. Suddenly it wasn't civil anymore. Her best friend slid into my DMs. "Some of them might have gotten damaged in storage, man. Just let it go." Screenshot, sent to lawyer. Gold, I filed in small claims for $6,500, replacement value plus damages plus fees. She got served at her job, a youth-focused nonprofit. The internet got hold of the story after I released a podcast episode, no names, just facts. Downloads exploded from a few hundred to over 12,000. Someone found her workplace and tagged them. She was placed on administrative leave. Her family tried every guilt trip in the book, mom, dad, sister, all begging me to drop it, saying I was destroying her life over some records. 2 days before court, she offered to return 18 of the 30. Many were scratched, cases cracked. The rare one, probably accidentally donated to a thrift store. Yeah, right, court day came. She showed up with a cheap-suit lawyer who tried to play the emotional breakup card. Judge wasn't having it. My evidence was overwhelming. Timestamped video proof of ownership, text admissions, her friend's messages admitting possession and damage. Judgment. $5,800 in my favor, plus she has to pay $300 a month until it's done. She sobbed in the courtroom. Outside, her family cornered me saying I'd ruined her life. I reminded them she ruined herself the moment she decided theft was an appropriate response to not getting her way. The 18 records she finally returned were trashed, scratched vinyl, shattered cases, basically worthless. Insurance is covering most of the loss now that I have a theft judgment. She lost her nonprofit job. Organizations working with kids don't love employees with fresh theft rulings. Last I heard, she's working retail and making those $300 monthly payments on time. I'm in therapy working on why I ignored red flags for so long, slowly rebuilding the collection, and dating someone new who understands that anniversary means 2 people, not 3. Moral of the story. Document everything, trust your gut, and if someone orders a $340 bottle of wine on your tab while ignoring you on your own anniversary, pay your share and disappear through the kitchen door. You won't regret it. End of story.